Hi guys, Cassie here. So I just wanted to provide you guys with a 20-week update. If you missed my previous video, I posted a video of when I found out that I was pregnant again after 5 weeks after a miscarriage. So yesterday I passed the 20-week mark, so I'm officially halfway through my pregnancy, and I thought I would just kind of share my experience so far. The first trimester was very challenging. I think it's challenging for any woman, no matter whether or not she's been pregnant before, but because I had just experienced a miscarriage not that long ago prior to getting pregnant again, I was just a nervous wreck pretty much until I had my 8-week ultrasound. My doctor tried to reassure me, and she was just like, the stats are on your side. It's very rare that a woman miscarries twice in a row. It's just kind of a fluke. It happens to a lot of women, and it was a little bit of reassuring to hear her say that, but at the same time, I couldn't help but just think that something was going to go wrong because I got pregnant so quickly afterwards. I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was playing a joke on me, and I was just waiting for it to all be taken away. I probably took 15 to 20 pregnancy tests within those first 8 weeks because I just couldn't believe it. And I was expecting just one day the line to go away and then just be like, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Initially, I had only told my parents just because I had miscarried not that long before. I was just really nervous about telling people, and I was excited, but I didn't know how to feel. I don't know how to I don't even know how to describe how I was feeling because I was so nervous. I spent so much time researching boards about women who got pregnant right after miscarriages, because some people say that it's bad if you don't have a period in between, and I didn't. And so I was just so paranoid. There was this one website, and I can't remember what it's called, but basically it breaks down your chances of having a miscarriage literally by the day. So if you're 6 weeks and 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever, you enter in kind of like your age, how many kids you have, what your weight was pre-pregnancy, and whether or not you've miscarried before, and it compiles all of this information and gives you a literal number. And being able to see that number go down was kind of reassuring. But I definitely drove myself a little bit crazy for the first 6 or 7 weeks. Eventually I came across a posting on a mom board, and it basically just said, nothing in life is guaranteed. Just because you make it to that 12-week mark, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a healthy baby for the rest of your life. And it's true. I mean, after that, you worry about your anatomy scan and whether or not that's going to turn out right. And then after that, you worry about stillbirth. And then after that, you worried about SIDS. And after that, you worried about childhood diseases and illnesses. And if we spend our entire life worrying about what could happen and what could go wrong, we're never going to enjoy anything. So basically, this posting just said you should enjoy being pregnant for however long you get to be pregnant. That really resonated with me, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start enjoying my pregnancy, because I was just miserable and just a nervous wreck for the first little while. So since I didn't have a period in between my miscarriage, when I got pregnant, I had to have a dating ultrasound, and they put me at 8 weeks right on the dot, and so my due date is October 3rd. Actually not far off what it would have been. If I counted that miscarriage as a period, I had estimated I'd be about 8 weeks and 4 days, and it put me right at 8 weeks. So after that ultrasound, we told more extended family and my siblings, and Connor told more of his family, and then it was just kind of the waiting game. We decided that we were going to do the first trimester screening, and we were going to wait until that point to tell everybody else. The chances of a miscarriage happening after a heartbeat's been detected at 8 weeks does drop significantly, but we were still a little bit worried. Just wanted to make sure that everything was going right before we announced. The symptoms that I had in my first trimester, I didn't really have morning sickness. I found that I would only get nauseous if I let my stomach go empty. I work afternoons, so I work until 12:30 in the morning, and I don't normally eat after 9-10 o'clock. And I found towards the end of my shifts, I was feeling really sick to my stomach, and it was because my stomach was empty. I was so tired. I slept all the time. If I wasn't at work, I was sleeping. I could barely keep my eyes open. One odd symptom that I've had from the very beginning, and it was kind of the sign to that I was pregnant, was I've had really bad lower back pain, and I would have been about 3 weeks pregnant when I first had it, and it extends across my lower back, and sometimes it goes down into my butt. And I had mentioned to Connor, I was like, man, I have this pain. I think I wonder if I'm pregnant again. I had this last time, and he was just like, you know, you really want to be pregnant so your mind could kind of be playing tricks on you. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. But no. And I find it gets worse if I've been standing on my feet for a long period of time, which kind of sucks because I am a bartender server part-time. And so towards the end of my shifts, I do get really tired and I'm in a lot of pain. I started not fitting into my clothes probably around week 8 or so. A lot of it was probably bloating, but there was not a lot of room in my pants, I guess, for me to expand. And I remember being so nervous that somebody at my work was going to call me out for being pregnant before I had announced, but luckily I made it to the 12-week point, I think, without anybody. Somebody found out because they overheard like me talking to somebody else about it, but I mean, that's not that big of a deal. So then we had our second ultrasound at 12 weeks and 4 days, and everything was good. It was super awesome because the baby actually went from looking like a bean to looking like a baby, and we got to see them stretch their legs and kick, and it was super awesome. So after that, we got to tell everybody, and that was kind of a relief because everybody knew, and we got to celebrate, and I no longer had to hide my stomach. We ended up going with the midwife, and I'm really happy with the midwife so far. I've only had 2 appointments with her, but I'm hoping to do as natural of a birth as possible, and I just find that kind of midwives allow you to be a little bit more in control of your body and your healthcare and your decisions than OBs do, just from what I've read. I got my energy back probably around week 14 or 15. I was still sleeping a lot, but nowhere near as much as I had been in my first trimester, and now I pretty much feel back to normal. I do get tired easier, but I feel more like a normal human being. I can actually do things during the day. I was really worried because Connor and I are going to Europe on Tuesday for 2.5 weeks, and I was like, I'm gonna spend the whole time sleeping. This is gonna be horrible. Like, why did we decide to do this? But I have it back, so hopefully we enjoy our trip. So at 20 weeks, I'm technically 20 weeks in 1 day, I've gained 12 pounds, give or take, which I kind of thought was a lot, but my mom seems to think it's not that much. I'll give a little show of the bump. So this is a little bump. Baby is sitting like super low. And it's actually like really small. Like sometimes I think my bump is huge, and then I like look at other people and I'm like, just kidding, your bump is actually extremely tiny. We have also had our anatomy scan. We had that scan at 19 weeks and 1 day. Everything looked good. It was super awesome getting to see baby move around. We're team green. We decided not to find out the sex of the baby, so my mother and I closed our eyes at that point, although I'm pretty sure my mom peeked, or at least she tried. I feel like it's a boy. Everybody says it's a boy because I'm carrying, but that's just a wives' tale. I'm excited for the surprise. Something that surprised me about being pregnant is I haven't enjoyed it as much as I thought I was going to. It's been really weird watching my body change, and like most people love being curvy and bumpy and whatever, and I just feel like I look like I had a big lunch and it hasn't digested and I look weird. It's been a lot harder of an adjustment than I thought it was going to be, just kind of look at myself in the mirror and to see myself with a belly. I'm feeling baby move for a couple weeks, and that's really exciting. I love being able to feel them move. It's very reassuring when you feel them move, and it makes me laugh because after I eat certain foods, the baby's always like tumbling around in there, and I'm like, that's my kid. Like, you like Buffalo Wild Wings, so do I. So yeah, that's my 20-week update. But basically what I just want to say is for women who are pregnant following a miscarriage, it can be extremely nerve-wracking and scary, but we have to embrace life. The baby is doing very well and they're very healthy. So yeah, I will hopefully update you guys a little bit more as my pregnancy progresses, and hopefully everything continues to going as it should. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.